Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of mine. I'm yours truly, Sprite. And boy, oh boy, what a week it has been. It's been one of those weeks. One of those very hard to go by weeks. Just everything going on around in the world. Just everything happening outside the realm of this YouTube channel. Things can get pretty heavy and dark, and we just don't know what the future holds. And so, the thing about this YouTube channel, right? The thing about everything that I do here is that I try to direct my viewers to a different direction than where most people commonly go. I like to distract people from the ugliness of the world. I like to try to show light. I like to try to be a nice fresh breath air. I try my best to make sure this channel has nothing to do with politics or just anything outside of that realm. I try my best to carry on and divert our attentions to enjoying ourselves, to entertainment, to happiness, to being in our own world, trying to forget whatever darkness we may be going through. What this week has been happening, I'm sure everyone knows by now. Charlie Kirk had been assassinated. Earlier today of this recording, I am recording on Wednesday, but the podcast episode will be released on Friday. And originally I was going to, have all sorts of different ideas on how to start off the show, but, this is just one of those things where, other than what happened earlier today and the day of this recording, of other things that's also been happening around the world, not just what happened today or a couple days ago when you're viewing this. There's so many other things happening that I just want to make sure my family is okay, and I just want to hug my family, hug my kid, make sure he is okay. Just kind of step back. And I was on the fence about recording this episode this week because there's a lot of attention around the Charlie Kirk situation, rightfully so. So, with that being said, I wish that we could listen to opinions and we could ignore opinions. I wish that people would be able to handle that. I wish we would be able to understand that everyone's got an opinion and everyone has a voice, whether you like them or not. It is up to you to decide whether you listen to it or you choose to ignore it, because no one is forcing you to listen to someone's opinion. No one is forcing you to automatically assume that person's right. You don't have to like the guy. You don't have to associate yourself with the guy. You can ignore the guy. And more often times than not, unfortunately, people don't go that route to ignore. They continue to hate. They continue to do this and that. And it's a human reaction from what I've understand. But I just wish that we could tone down the violence in general. Just in general. Not just a situation of recent events, but in general. But that's just not how the world works, unfortunately. So, this is probably going to be one of the only times you're going to hear me, listen to me talk about politics in any sense of the word politic. again, I don't talk about it. I don't talk about it because if I insert my opinion, well, I automatically am going to have two different separate viewers. I'm going to be known as the person who has this opinion. I'm going to be, I don't know. People are going to either choose to ignore the stuff I say and continue watching me, or they're going to, say something in the comments, be mean about it, or they're going to completely unsubscribe to me and stuff like that. So it's one of those other things where it's like, I don't really want to talk about it. I also don't have too much information into that world as well. So I don't feel like I have a spot in that place to be able to express myself. Like, of course, everyone has opinions and everyone's able to say what they want to say and how the world works and what's, best for America. But again, I stay away from that. I try my best to distract ourselves into a different world, put ourselves in a different world, be happy, enjoy ourselves. So, it's just one of those dark weeks. Like I said, it's just one of those dark weeks that makes me just want to just shut down, just regroup, recuperate, love who I love my family, love everyone in my inner circle, be with them, be happy for this life, do not take things for granted, and just breathe, right? So, anyways, we're going to move on from this subject. I think I said what I wanted to say. Maybe not in the most clear sense in my head. The thing about my head is that I think things in my head of what I want to say on the podcast, and it comes out beautiful in my head. But when I speak it through my mouth onto this microphone, into the computer, into the video that you're watching, it does not come out the way I want it to, but that's okay. Because this podcast is also one of those things where I feel like it helps me talk. Because I was a shy kid. I didn't talk as much as you think I would. And it's just one of those things where I can practice speaking normally, I feel like. There's still, times where I feel like, man, I could have said that better to that person, right? I feel like when I'm in a conversation, I'm awkward, and that's okay. I feel like it's harder for me to keep up with conversations. That's also okay. I don't feel knowledgeable, not just in politics, but, in other things. I live in my own world. And I surround myself with things that I like. And the things that I like isn't as common as I would like it to be with the people I socialize with or the inner circle that I'm in. And that's okay, because everyone's unique and everyone has their own, do's and don'ts. And it's okay to have your own things that you like, even if people think, it's stupid or it's nerdy or it's whatever. Who cares? I like it, and that's how it always has been with me, right? I always liked Star Wars growing up. It was a different time comparing to now. I feel like now, if you like Star Wars, it's more acceptable. But growing up, with me liking Star Wars, it was different. I feel like it was a little different. Be called nerd, be called this or that. It's whatever. Again, doesn't matter. I chose to ignore it because those are opinions. Those are opinions that I did not listen to or care, because in my head I thought that was cool. And it turns out now when you go on the internet, when you go on social media, whatever you go to, Star Wars is cool. No one in the comment section is bashing Star Wars. So it's like all those haters 20 years ago or whatever, non-existent. And I feel like it's now more social, now more accepting to like the kid group, to kid ages. I think a lot more things are accepting for kids. But it's just one of those things where it's like I don't care what other people thought at that time, and I still don't care what other people think of me or what I do or how I do. Yeah, I like wrestling. That's another thing, right? And people still have their opinions on that. I don't care. People are saying, "Why do you watch wrestling? It's fake." Well, no, duh, it's fake. So are movies. You're gonna watch a movie anyways. Oh, is Iron Man real? Why are you watching Iron Man? Why are you watching Iron Man 1, 2, 3? Why are you watching all these movies if he's not real? Why are you still watching it? Why am I still watching wrestling if it's not real? Hey, why are you watching that TV show? Why are you watching Friends? Why are you watching Jersey Shore? Believe it or not, 90% of the reality TV shows that you're watching, 95% of them, fake, scripted. They may not be scripted to the dotted lines. They may have the gist and idea of the topics to argue about and say or whatnot. But reality shows, that's fake, right? Who is acting normal in front of 50 cameramen around in a studio-like house, right? That's not normal. And so how are you going to be normal in front of that? I'm supposed to act normal with my family when there's 50 cameras around them? No, definitely not. So reality shows, fake. Some of the stuff you saw on the History Channel, Animal Planet, so a good chunk of that's fake as well. You're still gonna watch it. I don't care like who's a man in the middle of the woods eating bugs or whatever. It's still fake too. I mean, I'm sure it's eating the bugs real, but like off camera, when you got yourself a nice comfy sleeping bag, in comparison to when the camera's recording and it's like, oh, I don't have a sleeping bag. I sleep on the floor right here. Sure you do. So it's just one of those things. It's like, I like wrestling, you like your crap, so what? Who cares? And now I feel like wrestling's also incredibly acceptable. Have you seen the numbers that WWE is making? That is humongous, enormous. There are groundbreaking records going on with wrestling right now. And the fact that there's two major promotions that are touring around America and it is successful, WWE and AEW, like, it's cool. No one's bashing it. So, I mean, you can have all the opinions you want, right? I'm going to choose to ignore them because I like the stuff that I like. And there's a good chunk of other people out there that like what I like. And it's perfect. It's awesome because I get to live in that world with them. We get to share the same experience. Not everyone has to like the same music that plays out there. And that's fine. That's totally fine. But you know what's awesome? When music's collab. When there's, Jay-Z and Linkin Park. When they did Numb together. That was beautiful. I liked it. Just one of those examples, I don't know. So that's just my opinion, and you can choose to listen to my opinion. You can choose to ignore my opinion. And you can choose to block me because of my opinion, and that is okay because that's what I have been doing growing up. I tune people out whenever they have something stupid to say, and I will continue doing that in the future. Because I don't have to take opinions seriously. And that's the beauty of life, right? So my advice to you is like, if you believe in something, believe in it. Keep to yourself. Surround yourself with people with the same features of you, I guess. I don't know. Well, you don't have to. You can talk to other people. You can expand your horizon. You can learn something new. But if you have a strong opinion about something, it's probably best you don't express that hard opinion against opposing opinions, right? Because then you're just basically asking for an argument. I don't want to argue with people. One of those things about me is that, like, when you just start to argue with people, I immediately come to, well, this is a lost cause. I don't want to argue. If I'm being honest, the last thing I want to do is argue. I just, if you're already so convinced of whatever is in your head and I can't change your mind, why are we trying to begin with, right? Don't change my opinion. I won't change your opinion. Leave it at that, right? Like, again, you can debate all you want, nothing is going to happen. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things. So, oh man, I can't believe I've already been recording for 15 minutes, just rambling on. Is that 15 minutes? I can't see. I don't have my glasses on. What am I rambling about? What are you rambling about? What I wanted to ramble about was AEW. AEW is coming to multiple towns in Florida that I'm going to be attending to. I'm going to be attending to 3 different AEW events here in Florida. The first event I am super excited for, is Hollywood, Florida. AEW is hosting their 6-year Dynamite anniversary show, and I am super excited for that one. I'm super excited because I've never been to Hard Rock Live, never been to Hard Rock Casino, that perimeter anyways. I have been to a Hard Rock. I've been to a Hard Rock in Cancun, Mexico. That was fun, but that was also 10 years ago, actually. 10 years ago, during the summer of 2015. That's when I was there. Talk about a different time frame, by the way. Very different time frame. Yeah, that was the first and last time I've stayed at a Hard Rock, to my knowledge. So, I have myself a reservation to stay at the night over there. Now, I'm going to this wrestling show with my partner, and I am making it a surprise to her that we're going to stay there. She thinks that we are staying at another hotel, just somewhere close by to the area. I am going to surprise her by saying, yeah, here's our hotel. This is where we're staying. Because Hard Rock, it's a casino. It's got everything over there. It's got its own little shopping area. It's got its own restaurants. It's an entire resort. It's got whole different parts, like different pool areas and stuff like that. It's just got all sorts of fun things you can do around there. And so I just kind of like, surprise. Now the funny thing is, I was originally going to book a reservation at the hotel, but what happened was the hotel reservation for the cheapest room at the time, this was like a week ago, the rates were at $500. I'm like, why? What's going on in October for this rate to be $500? Who is coming to Florida, to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Florida area? Who's coming in October? Because school is the thing, right? People are working again. Who's vacationing down here at this time of year, right? It's October. Nothing's happening in October other than Halloween, but that's not until literally the end of the month. There's nothing to do the first week of October. And so I was hopeful though, because I noticed when I was looking at the rates for October 1st, while it was $500, there's other earlier dates that were at like $300, $270 or whatever. I'm like, okay, so maybe this is just a scheme. Maybe it's just like they're trying to sucker up people. Maybe, I don't know, people who like to plan in advance, because there's plenty of those people. They will get suckered into spending $500. But I waited. And I was going to book a hotel reservation outside of Hard Rock if the prices weren't going to drop. Because $500 a night at a hotel for one room. And it's not like a luxurious room or anything. It's a standard room. It's got a mattress, a TV, a bathroom. Maybe a little kitchen. That's it. It's like a studio apartment. It's smaller than a studio apartment. $500 a night? That's half of someone's rent out there. No, that's never worth it for one night. I don't care how much access you get around that resort. No. Anyways, I waited, and I'm glad I did, because it lowered down to $237, and I'm like, oh, well, that makes a huge difference. Yes, it does. So I immediately booked it. It's $237 is just more feasible. Like 500, that is outrageous. And I feel sorry for the suckers who got sucked into that, spending that much. Not worth it. Not worth it by a long shot. So we're gonna go to Hard Rock the day of AW Dynamite. I'm gonna try to get there as early as possible. I'm excited. I am super excited because I get to be out of town. I get to enjoy somewhere I've never been to. I get to be in Hard Rock for the first time in 10 years at a different location. I believe I've been to AW Revolution World's End in Orlando at the UCF Arena. And I've been to AW Dynamite multiple times, not just Dynamite, but like all sorts of different shows in Jacksonville. And I've also been to a couple of AW Dynamites in Savannah. I have gone to WWE multiple times in Jacksonville, in Orlando. I've never been to Tampa. I have been in Tampa, but I've never been to a wrestling show in Tampa. So I like going to different venues I've never been to before. I like exploring. I like seeing. I don't believe AW's hosted a show before in Hard Rock, so I think this is a first for not just me, but for them. And I'm excited. I think it's already surpassed 2,000 ticket buys, so it's going to be a good crowd. And I'm sure tickets will sell a lot more come closer to the date, because that's how a lot of events are. It's like the closer the event is, the more people actually buy it, because that's when seats get cheaper and whatnot, right? And then after that, they are doing a show in Lakeland, the AEW Collision, but that's just too much driving for me at that point, because then I would have to have another night off, which means another day off from work. And I told myself, I'm going to skip that one out, because I am already going to both AW Dynamite and Collision in Jacksonville. So they're going to do an early Dynamite on Tuesday. What is it, October 6th? Let me double check on that. No, October 7th. October 7th is Tuesday, and they're going to do Dynamite. So on Wednesday, they're going to be doing AW Collision, which is the normal Dynamite time frame. So both of those are homecoming, which is nice. I can't wait. I've been to all the homecoming shows in Jacksonville. And I got some pretty good seats. The Hollywood, Florida one, I got. If you look at the venue, if you search up Hard Rock Live Hollywood, Florida, you'll get tons of images of inside the venue. And there's a little section that has couches. There's, I think, 3 rows of couches per section. And I am in one of those sections with the couches. And I have never seen a seating like that before. I mean, I have, but not to that extent. I've never been to a venue where I can sit on a couch and watch something. I've always just sat on a standard chair. And it's so sad, because I've been to so many pay-per-views, AEW pay-per-views, ringside. Never have I been given a chance to take home a collector's chair, because they didn't have collector's chair. So this is probably the most unique seating I've had, because it's not just a couch that I'm sitting next to my partner, which is going to be nice because we have leg space and we're not squished between people. We're going to have, apparently in the couches area, you get cocktail service. So they'll bring you drinks. Heck yeah. I don't have to get up and go to the bar. I can just get whatever I want. Typically when I'm at Daly's in Jacksonville, I always go to the bar first before I have to sit down. I always buy myself a drink. I like to get a drink to relax. I don't get a drink to be rowdy. I don't get a drink to do this or that. I get a nice drink just to sip throughout the show. Well, maybe not throughout the show, because I'll probably drink it within the first hour. But I like having a drink, and I like having something to sip on while I'm watching wrestling. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, man, cocktail service on this couch, watching wrestling at a live venue. Beautiful, by the way. Very gorgeous looking venue. Like, it's just going to be the most unique experience. And I paid $172 per ticket on those couches. You know where $172 gets me in WWE? That gets me into nosebleeds. So, funny enough, WWE SmackDown is coming to, I think, in Orlando? Or Tampa. I think it's Orlando. Anyways, either or. I looked up at one of the ticket prices out of curiosity because a part of me wants to go. I want to go to a WWE show once in a while. I like to enjoy myself. But when I look at the prices, holy guacamole! Those are nosebleed prices in their eyes. So you're telling me I could either spend about $200 to sit way up far in the rafters watching WWE, or I could spend almost the same amount close to the ring on a couch with cocktail service. Yeah, you see, my hand here, it's leaning towards the couch. I get to sit somewhere comfy. I get to sit next to my partner with tremendous amount of leg space. I don't have to be squished between people. We get to snuggle. We get to do whatever. Well, not whatever, but like, you understand. I don't have to like scooch around or anything. I can just freely sit and not worry about the cluster. I don't have to sit still. I'm a tall dude. I get to just relax in my own comfort watching a wrestling show, getting drinks to me. I don't have to go anywhere. You're telling me that you would rather spend $200 way up in the rafters, squished between other people who, couldn't afford a, more expensive ticket, potentially smelling? That's one thing, guys. Wear a deodorant when you go through, like, any event, by the way. I don't care who you are. If you're going to a wrestling show, please wear deodorant. I'm not asking for too much, but, like, and it's not just wrestling from my experience. It's concerts. It's all sorts of other things out there. Football season is back. It's hot. It's currently hot. Wear deodorant. There are so many people they don't know the word hygiene. They just one ear at the other. It's not hard. A nice little shower. Yeah, I'm not asking for you to shower for 10, 15, 20 minutes. A 2-minute shower is even fine, right? Shower real quick, put on some deodorant, maybe even some, freaking cologne or perfume. I don't care what you wear, as long as it smells good. I'd rather that than, cat pee. Or just stink booty. Who wants that? Why are people so comfortable like that? I don't get it. I really don't. Just deodorant. Come on. Smell good. Smell good for the people around you. Care about your neighbors. Anyways, getting off topic. It's just one of those things that like come to mind. It's like, do better. Just do better. Anyways, so in the couch section, I'm not going to be close to anyone either. Like, obviously, there's going to be people around, but, like, I'm not sitting right next to a dude who smells. No, we were perfect seating. The seating that we have is right next to the aisle, the lane. So it's like, I don't have to worry about, like, us sitting, like, next to other people. And then the couches are divided, so, like, it's divided by 2 people per, like, section kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it. But, like, imagine a couch that's small just for 2 people. It's essentially what it is. They got little barriers in between, sets of couches. It's just whatever. Can't say the same for when I go to AW in Jacksonville, though. Though I have sat in almost every section of dailies at this point because I've gone to probably over 50 events over there. Thanks, COVID era. But... yeah, no. Jacksonville will be Jacksonville. Dailies will be dailies. That will be okay. I'm used to that. Do I miss COVID seating? Yes. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something about COVID era AEW Jacksonville. Is the COVID seating. You were away from people. You got to relax. You got to enjoy yourself. It's as heavenly as how I'm talking about the couches. You just relax. Do nothing. Just watch the show to the comfort of your own well-being. That is what I love. That is top tier, grade A. I just there's a lot of things I missed during the COVID era, and yeah, I know. I shouldn't be saying that. I should not be saying that. It's COVID. It was an era that no one enjoyed. It was an era that people had to wear masks and yada yada yada. But that was 2020 and 2021 was like one of the highlights of my life. All right, I'm sorry, but that's when everything started going. That's when everything was getting up and walking, like a toddler taking his first steps. I feel like that's where my life really started to elevate. I feel like that's where I started to strap onto this rocket ship, and it's not been stopping since. Am I making sense? Surely I'm not the only person like who's elevated from COVID, who's actually had a decent experience from that era. Like, I don't know. And I understand. COVID is one of those things where it did not help a lot of businesses. It shut down a lot of people. It's done this and that. I understand. It's not been good for everyone. But this is just for me, my sake, from what I went through. Like, that in my life, in that period of time, something just magical happened, and it has not stopped since, and I am forever grateful for it. So, thank you, God. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, everyone who supported me. Thank you to everyone and everything. Yeah, wow. I'm excited. I'm happy for. I'm gonna have a vacation during this time I'm going to wrestling, by the way. So I'm gonna have over a week off to myself. Well, not to myself. I'm going to be around my family, but I'm going to have a week off. It's going to be a relaxation mode. I'm going to have pre-record, so there's going to be a lot of videos that are recorded and scheduled, so that way I don't have to worry about, oh man, I need to make a video. The only thing I'll probably have to worry about is just making a podcast episode, because I try my best to record my podcast a couple days within the upload date, because I want to be up to date when I'm releasing these podcast episodes. I don't want to not be recording on a Monday and a week's gone by and it's Friday and that's when the video uploads, and next thing you know I'm talking about topics about 2 weeks ago. Who wants that? So I'm trying my best to keep it as fresh as I can, if that makes sense. Not that anyone cares. I'm just more so excited to go to AEW. I'm more excited about wrestling. I'm excited about having my own time off. Tomorrow, I am going to make ribs. Oh my goodness, I love ribs, by the way. More on that on the next episode, actually. You know, that's a topic for me to save next week if I remember to talk about it, because I love ribs. Ribs is one of the best meats ever. Anyways, thank you for listening to me ramble. You know, I feel better having to get some of the stuff off my chest. I feel a lot better having to express. I feel a lot better being able to talk about my excitement, my joy in life. And with that being said, I hope you do the same. I hope you enjoy life the way it is meant to be. I hope you and your family are doing okay. I hope that everything in your circle is doing okay. Elevate yourself. Be positive. Love yourself. Love others around you. I will see you guys next time, next week. Or if you want to watch my gaming videos, I'm currently playing Deadpool. You can watch me in a couple of days on Monday when I release another Deadpool episode. But for now, thank you. Thank you for listening, watching, rating, subscribing, doing whatever you do on YouTube, and I will see you guys next time. But for now, go to bed.